as someone that has loose skin, that has had those moments where I've had to share this information before I, consummated the relationship with someone, it's not like I am in my head thinking, I'm going to get this person, I'm going to trick them, and I can't wait. No, absolutely not. It's obviously something you're thinking about. It's obviously something that in the back of your head, I'm going to have to bring this up eventually. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today we're going to be talking about loose skin. Loose skin is something that is pretty much inevitable if you are losing a significant amount of weight. It's just something that happens. And actually recently there was a video uploaded by Greg Doucette where he talks about an experience that he kind of saw, and he kind of shared what he thought about it. And it's actually very funny because this weekend I ended up making a reel talking about this and kind of speaking about something in this video. So let's just kind of talk about this. So this is the video that we're going to be talking about. It's called False Advertising, This is Pathetic. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but there are some points in this video that I think are really interesting and I really want to share my opinion. So let's just kind of go and see what happens.
Coach Greg, in today's video, this is pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself. And so we have a woman, she's lost over 300 pounds. That's 2 full-size adult human beings.
300 pounds is an insane amount of weight. Like I lost 180, right? So that's like 120 pounds more than I lost. That's gnarly.
And what was the aftermath? Well, obviously, she's left with a ton of skin. And she makes a video saying, hey everybody, I discovered this amazing bodysuit. It covers me up. It holds everything in place. And so you can tell she's very happy, very good looking, extremely confident with the way she looks in her bodysuit. And so I'm very excited watching this video. I'm like, wow, finally a woman has lost 300 pounds. She's put in the work. She was formerly morbidly obese, trained harder than last time, and lost all of the extra body fat. But of course she was left with loose excess skin. And not only that, she dared to show it off to social media. Imagine what most people feel like, even myself. I post photos on social media and the comments are, look at that loose skin. I mean, after all, how could you handle living like that? Look at the loose skin.
That's so funny. It's like literally nothing and people still say something, right?
It's horrible. How could you do that? Do you see how much loose skin I have? Really? Is it that bad? I'm 48 years of age.
I think that this is really important. Loose skin is something that I personally, obviously it's a topic that I talk about. I don't talk about it as much as I used to, at least I feel like I don't, because I feel like most of everything that I could say personally has been said, but I do feel like, I don't want to say like I'm some sort of godfather of this, but like there wasn't as much content about it when I was talking about it at first. Now, I think a big part of that is because the internet just was a little bit newer, especially social media. And so not as many people talked about it, but there's so much more content about it. And I see that as such a positive. Like, yes, there are people that will leave comments on my stuff saying, oh, I'm scared of loose skin. That's why I don't want to lose weight. Respectfully, my reply to that usually is like, I'm not trying to be mean, but that just sounds like an excuse. I think the fear of loose skin comes down to the fear of the unknown. We know what it's like to live in a bigger body, and a lot of us have become, we might not be happy with it, but we've become comfortable with it. We've become used to it. The thought of having loose skin is this thing that is unknown. I can say for me, loose skin is just part of who I am. I don't sit and think about it all the time. I'm not like sitting here right now like, oh my God, I hope they can't tell that I have loose skin. It literally does not cross my mind until I may be in front of a mirror, right? Or if I'm like on a run and it's jiggling a little bit. But like for the most part, it's not something I think about. And I think that people that see it for the first time, they are so like surprised that they feel like there's no way I could ever get used to that. But the reality of the matter is that when you earn a loose skin, if you want to call it that, it's a slow process. For the most part, it doesn't happen immediately, right? You lose weight over a period of time. The loose skin becomes more noticeable over that period of time. I personally don't think it's something to be afraid of, but well, you know, I've said that a million times.
Think of it. And so people are critical of how I look. Imagine. And so she has 300 times more loose skin than I do, but she's comfortable enough, confident enough to show this on social media. And so I applaud her. This reminded me of Obese to Beast, who was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. She lost all that weight, was over 400 pounds, lost so much weight, was left with so much loose skin. Guy has tons of followers. People applaud him. Yay, bravo, good for you. And so I go to the comment section.
So that is very true, right? And I think that this is kind of what he's going to bring up here in a second. But I deal with significantly less mean comments, hate comments, whatever you want to call them, than most women I've seen that will post their loose skin, for the most part. I deal with my fair share of people that are being mean, but for the most part, I see it a lot more on women's social media. I'm not going to sit here and say I have an answer for why that is. I think a lot of times, I think just, I really don't have an answer. I think men, for the most part, are more focused on like physical beauty, like physical. That's just something that they seem to focus on more. I personally have dealt with my, fair share of people being mean, but honestly, for the most part, whenever I have most of the times when I have a comment that's like mean about my loose skin or they're making fun of me, usually it's a dude that will be saying something like that. That's just the fact of the matter. Not always. I want to make that very clear. Not always, but it's definitely something that I deal with less. And it just sucks because I've talked about this before, but it's like women, it is usually a little bit more difficult for them to lose weight. So that's something they're dealing with. And then on top of it, when they do lose the weight, they're dealing with more criticism from most of the time the opposite sex that obviously they might be trying to attract. So they're dealing with like this negativity from these other people as well. It's difficult, but it's definitely something that I've noticed 100%.
Expecting people to say, congratulations on losing all that weight. We are amazed, we are proud. But instead of that, I got the exact opposite. I was appalled. You should all be ashamed of yourself. You're all pathetic. These comments could not believe it. I know you're proud of your accomplishment. I would be too. I just don't need to see this part of it.
It's just so stupid, man. Like, it's like when I see comments like that, it's like, you so don't understand how much work went into losing that weight. I don't care. You could act like you do, but like a comment like this just proves that you have absolutely no idea.
Imagine how she feels reading that comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of your accomplishment. I just don't want to see it. It's disgusting. Get it out of my face. Do you know how horrible of a comment that is? Imagine other people out there who are reading your comment who've also lost weight, also with loose skin, and they're going to think, oh, I'm disgusting. I'm not worthy of showing myself to the world.
And that's actually a really good point, because a lot of times I try not to comment back to negative stuff too much, but when it is something that I know that, like, yes, I deal with this, but say, like, especially with like loose skin, it's not something that I struggle with, but I know that there are plenty of people that do struggle with it. And I know that a lot of those people are following me. And so I've noticed myself a lot of times responding to comments that they might not necessarily hurt my feelings, but I know that other people that are dealing with loose skin are going to read that comment and then internalize it for themselves, right? They're going to think, well, my loose skin is just as bad, or maybe I have more loose skin than John does, and this person is saying that about him. They must think I'm some sort of freak, and I really hate that. And so I really tried my best to defend myself, but in turn defend other people as well. Yeah.
I don't ever want to see this again, please. You've done great, well done, but don't want it in my face. It's from a woman discouraging this woman from posting how she looks on social media. She should be proud of her accomplishment. She lost all that weight, but now she can't show herself?
Yeah, it's like, again, it's just terrible. Like, if you're someone that's bigger on social media, people are going to make fun of you, but then you're someone that loses weight and you have loose skin, and then you have people that are gonna make fun of you and say, that's disgusting. It's like you almost feel like you can't win, right? And so it's just really, really tough. Now I just want to move a little bit forward into the video, because this is when the reel that I had made kind of like really like it fits perfectly into this video. So let's go ahead and watch this little part right here.
Good job. Now you only need to remove the skin and you good to go. Heart symbol. What has she read? The pickup artist? Why are you giving her an egg? Oh, I'm going to give you a backhanded compliment. Great job. Now all you got to do is skin, heart face. Why would you say that? She does not need to remove her skin. Does she really need to remove the skin because you think she does? She's lost the weight. She has extra skin. So what?
Yeah, and that's exactly exactly how I feel. And so kind of this is perfect for the video that I made. So this is the reel that I had made. I hadn't seen this video yet. I made this reel just like it was unrelated. But again, so this is a reel of me responding to this comment that I got. And so this comment says, "Just get the surgery, man." And I've gotten comments like this literally for years at this point. And so I'm going to go ahead and play what I kind of said, and then I want to share, expound on those ideas. This is a comment that I get pretty often. So I lost 180 pounds 10 years ago, right? And I have loose skin from it, as you can see, right? And it's interesting because I'll have comments like this where it seems like it's almost like the person's annoyed that I haven't gotten the surgery, and then I'll get ones that people that are just curious. So just to kind of answer the question, there's no like specific reason. I'm not against loose skin surgery. For me personally, one, I don't want to undergo like significant surgery unless it's like absolutely necessary for me. For me, my loose skin, yes, it's obviously noticeable, but does it affect my everyday life to where I feel like I absolutely need it? No. And so am I comfortable going into a surgery like that? Also, no. Is it also very expensive? Yes, right? So there are genuine reasons. I've had some people that have accused me of literally keeping this loose skin that I deal with every single day because it's good for content. There's literally nothing I can do to combat that, I think no matter what I say, someone is going to think that that's why I have it. So people can think that, but this is just like, there's not enough of a want for the things that could go wrong. And to kind of expound on that and share, go a little bit deeper, I think there is this, it seems like this need that people have when you're someone that's lost weight. And when I say people, I mean the people that are on the outside looking in, that they feel like your journey is not done until you get loose skin surgery. And I feel like it's only gotten to be more prevalent the more people are getting the surgeries because it's so common now. Now, again, I just want to make it very clear. I have no issues with people getting the surgery. If you want to get the surgery, you should get the surgery. I just want to make it clear. I have literally no issue with you doing it. But I feel like because it's become so common, and one thing I've noticed pretty significantly is that a lot of times these people that become maybe influencers for losing a lot of weight, they garner a big following. And because they have a big following, people will reach out to them that will maybe help them pay for the surgery, or, they'll pay for part of the surgery, whatever it might be. And so it becomes a little bit easier for that person to get the surgery. And then so it seems like almost everyone that has a large following that has lost a lot of weight also has gotten the surgery. So it almost seems like to people that is the next step. You have to do it. And it doesn't, like, your journey is not done. You still have some ways to go until you are done, right? Like that surgery is the thing that's going to tie it all together. And I just disagree with that. Like, if you want to get the surgery, of course, by all means, you should absolutely do it. If you don't want to get the surgery, or if you can't get the surgery, right? If you're someone that can't afford it, it's literally thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't think that you should feel that your journey isn't complete because you haven't gotten the surgery. Another thing that was brought up in Greg's videos where a lot of men were commenting that this is catfishing, right? Because she's talking about this bodysuit that like basically covers up some of her loose skin. And they were like, imagine if I took you home and then we went, we were about to, do the deed. And then I found out that you had this loose skin. Now, I think that is such a silly thing to say. It's such a, this is like you're only thinking about yourself in this moment type of thing. Because as someone that has loose skin, that has had those moments where I've had to share this information before I, consummated the relationship with someone, it's not like I am in my head thinking, I'm going to get this person, I'm going to trick them, and I can't wait. No, absolutely not. It's obviously something you're thinking about. It's obviously something that in the back of your head, I'm going to have to bring this up eventually. And so I can almost guarantee anyone that's in that position is not in their head thinking, I can't wait to trick this person, right? It is 100% something that you will probably bring up before clothes start getting taken off and things start happening, because you don't want that experience. No one wants the experience of someone being freaking mortified or surprised by this, right? So of course you're going to bring that up. It's just such a silly and, in my opinion, juvenile thing to be like, oh, dude, if I took you home, dude, and you had that skin, oh man, dude, one, you're not going to be taking her home, brother. I promise you. And I guarantee, like, before you get to that point, there's going to be a conversation that's going to happen, because for me, right, for the person that has loose skin, because you don't want to be in that position. That's scary and it's embarrassing, of course. And then I can only imagine as a woman, like, there's so much more that goes into that. But even for me as a dude, it was something I was worried about. So I always made it very clear before that was even close to happening. Yo, I used to be this size. I have loose skin from that. Like, I just need to let you know. You know, I never had anyone that was like, prove it, send me a picture or anything like that. But, you know, luckily I have my social media stuff, and usually we'd end up following each other, and then it was like they could see it themselves, right? And so if they wanted to decide not to move further, that was something that they could do. But I really wanted to share my opinions on this. I thought that this was a very interesting video because it tied so well into that reel that I had made earlier. I'm genuinely curious of, like, what is your thoughts on loose skin surgery and just like loose skin in general? Have your thoughts over it changed over time the more that people are talking about it? I'm really curious what people think. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.